pasa? What's happening, everybody? Welcome to yet another glorious episode of the Trail and Aaron podcast. We call it The Tap. I am your host, Aaron. This is LaCroix, yet again. Oh, my goodness. And we are indeed in November. And November is also, it's part of the holidays, but also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And it's not something that we should just forget about after this month is done. Much like Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, keep that awareness going year-round. 24/7, 365. Do not forget about it. Be aware of it. God damn it. More than just these months. It's good to highlight them, of course. I like what these months are doing. Keep it on the forefront of your mind at all times. So this is not going to be one of those, I want it to be a little heartfelt, but since it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, I wanted to tap into it, want to talk about it, because not just because I've had some ferocious battles between my ears, and I know that I am just a pipsqueak compared to the battles that other people are facing currently, and often lose those battles in one way or another. Just really sucks. So I just wanted to talk about it a little bit, and per the kind of rebranding of the Tap, new direction, I would say, exploring these waters of advertising, creative critiques, and whatnot. I stumbled across an ad on Instagram the other day, and it's not so much an ad because it is one of those rare examples that it is nothing short of perfection. It's more of a message. It's something that hits super hard. It's sincere, authentic, hits the target audience, and it just knocks every aspect of what makes a tremendous ad out of the park. Every element of it is perfection. And because largely in part to it, it's not selling anything other than it's more just raising awareness for one's mental health. So I wanted to play it. If you don't want to watch it, that's unfortunate. If you're listening to it on Apple Podcasts, it's more of a visual spectacle. There are some words and stuff like that, but it's only 2 minutes long, so just skip ahead of it. It is from a football club from Norwich City. It's, like I said, from 2003, I believe, October 9th, 2003. It's called Check In on Those Around You. And I believe at the Norwich City Canaries. It's in the UK. And just watching it, it has so much going for it. It hooks you in. You're kind of wrapped up with the story it's telling. You kind of forget you're watching an advertisement. You just want to see it through what happens at the end because of it gives you a little context of what it's about in the beginning, dealing with suicide, and that it might trigger some people or what have you. And just to be aware, be ready for it. So with that in mind, you're going into it a little nervous of just what's going to be this payoff isn't the right word, but the conclusion of what we're watching. So let me go ahead and play it. Here we go. 2 minutes and 5 seconds from this point here on out. If you don't want it, just skip 2 minutes ahead. But I'm still going to be talking about it.
Oh, wow. How are you doing? You good? Oh, sorry, thank you. How you doing? God, it's exciting, isn't it? Hey?
So, how's the week been?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope things are better outside of football.
And that is it. Sometimes it's hard to spot people coping, absolutely struggling. And like I said, this is the perfect ad because it's more of a message. It's not trying to sell anything, but let me break down why it's perfect. It's from, the Norwich City, the Canaries, this football club. You can think about the Sacramento Kings. I'm not exactly sure how big this football club is, but just for all intents and purposes, Sacramento Kings. And its niche audience, who they're targeting, obviously males. But that's not to say that there aren't female football fans out there that are struggling with their mental health. They're out there, but by and large, the audience is male. 18 to 35 and beyond, like these guys, middle-aged guys. And you come in seeing this guy on the left just bumming out, negative energy. That guy does a great job of portraying, I think, that feeling of glum and just absolute abject flatness, where nothing and nobody around you can pull you out of that slump, that funk. We've seen it. We're lethargic. We can't bring ourselves to feel that happiness, even in the rush of the sports. And just the context, it's just the camera's there with those two guys in there, and one dude is just freaking out. He's loving it. He is embodying the thrill of being a sports fan, not just soccer, basketball, like Save the Kings, football, baseball, what have you, those highs, those lows. And he is just so about it. We're seeing this variety, this flurry of emotions from this guy. And meanwhile, his friend on the left is just barely clapping, slow moving, and he's not enjoying the sports. And like the sports context it's a great tool in this way. Is it going to appeal to the theater troupe male audience? I don't think so. This message transcends all fandoms and what have you. If you're alive and you're struggling mentally, this is for you. But it is when it's finely tuned and directed towards that audience and hits the way it did, it just adds a little more. There's when ads hit in a way, it's like there's an inside joke that, I could say something about Magic cards or what have you, and it's something that those, if you know, and when you're like the sports fans, and you see this guy's like the ups and downs, and that's what made it so tremendous, of just the setup, the fans all around them, everybody's losing it, and it keeps going. You're meant to assume the guy on the left is the one who needs to be reached out to, and the guy on the right is like, hey, how's it going? How's the week been? The guy on the left just, we've all been there. At least I know I have, where I was lucky enough to be, say, working at the paper at the time, work from home, and there's a couple of days where it's like all I could do, it took all my energy just to lay on the couch and just turn on the TV and just lay there. And like that's just me. It all ebbs and flows, but the emotion or lack thereof the guy was displaying on the left, at least I can empathize with it, and I think a lot of other people can empathize with that. Just, I'm in a funk. Fuck this. Can't stand it. All these other assholes around me enjoying their lives. And the guy on the right, at the last, he says, oh, wow, that was worth it. I hope things outside of football are good. But the guy on the left is about to give back his the scarf. And the guy on the right, the happy one's like, you keep it, mate, you keep it. Which is, when you look at it, it is so chilling of this happy guy, and the subtle things he says are final. It is a finite last gift, at least when I'm looking at this story being told. That was like a last gift, because this guy knew he was going to take his own life. And so this entire time we're meant to assume the guy on the left is the one reaching out, and then the scene changes, all the roar of the crowd, the rush, the adrenaline, the action, and then all that goes quiet. People are standing there, that kind of, I would say, ominous, sad music playing in the background, and the guy on the left just sets the scarf there, because there was a man on the right who was struggling to cope the entire time, and you see nothing but smiles, this jubilation of his, and it's just, it reminds me of Robin Williams a little bit, of just somebody, how could we fathom that someone's filled with so much light, so much life, so much happiness, so much zaniness, and so much silliness to give, could take his own life, and it's a lot of times it's just a mask. I did want to highlight just this overall, that how this was shot, the music, the sounds, the emotion, the portrayal of all of this was flawless. But what I liked most about it was the camera stayed put the entire time. And sports fans, as you know, you're getting up and down. Somebody hits a 3-pointer. Somebody hits a corner kick that gets headed in, and you're electric. You get up. You're high-fiving people. But the camera stayed still, and the guy on the left, the down and out one, is what the camera does. Like, it stays put, and you just see their waist. You see like their hands. It stays put. You can't see their faces, but I think this message was allowing our eyes to listen to the body language, how lethargic and slow moving the guy was. His hands are kind of together. Meanwhile, the guy on the right's jumping up and down. He's holding and grabbing and touching the man on the left who's barely moving, but they emphasize the body language. Every aspect of how that guy's acting as what we think is going to be what the telltale signs of someone struggling mentally, emotionally. It's the person jumping up and down, and like it just flips what you assume on its head, which also I think was so impactful, especially at the end of this ad. And let's see. Why we skip there in my notes? And this thing ends with a very sincere message of just people like struggling to cope, what have you. There's the whole cliche. There's a lot of cliche in sports when you use it, but we're all like one team. We can all help each other. This context of just the game setting, the fandom. It is just a football club. This isn't some major pharmaceutical company. This isn't a politician. This is a football club looking out for their fans, telling people, hey, let's look out for one another. And because there's no agenda that could be implemented in this other than wanting people to live healthy, happy lives and help each other out. There's no product being sold. It's just this football club, the city, we stand behind this. This is who we are. They're not trying to sell jerseys. They're not trying to sell healthcare, pharmaceutical ads. Compare this to bullshit pharmaceutical ads. Ooh, Ozempic, or you need to get Trumpalaya, and it might give you 3 extra assholes. Or it might have your hair fall off and then maybe an eyeball pokes out and then you might have suicidal thoughts or whatever. You cannot compare this to a Jack in the Box ad. You can't compare this to just so much other vain bullshit because it's not a message. It's trying to get you to buy something. And this one is yes, the intent was not to sell a product. It just was meant to keep you aware, meant to just punch you in the gut in a way that you remember. Because for me, when I'm bludgeoned over the head with all these horrendous statistics, especially with, say, military veterans or first responders, whoever it is, of just how many guys take their own lives, statistics they become numb to a certain extent because I'm like, okay, I have this information. What am I supposed to do with it? I guess it encourages you to reach out to people, but the stats just kind of, they don't hit because like they're so devastating, and it bums me out, and it just doesn't resonate with me. It's not something I'm going to remember of just how many guys every second take their life. This sticks with me. It's something that in my day-to-day, I'm like, well, okay, maybe it just encourages me to reach out more than statistics. And I'm only speaking for myself, of course. Maybe some people get off on statistics and like, wow, I want to really make a difference. I want to do this. That ain't me. It just falls short. Something like this, a story, and it progresses, and then that final conclusion, the finality, and just that oh shit moment that I think they knocked out of the park. Let's go over ways to, I don't know, help out, talk about it, talk to people, be uncomfortable. If you feel like you're going to be judged, you're going to feel like you're embarrassed to be struggling a little bit, struggle, like open up. It's okay. It beats just curling up and just ending it possibly. Don't do that. We have a lot of things. There's a lot to fight for. There's always something to do. There's always someone willing to talk. There's suicide hotlines. there's focus groups, there's ways you can help, and you're not weak. I understand there's a lot of, say, bravado, especially with males, Hispanic culture. There's a lot of just tough it out, work your 14, 15-hour day, have a beer at the end of the day, and just, call it good. Suffer in silence. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Talk about it. Therapists help. Also, don't force, if you have a therapist, you don't need to force yourself to just stay with the one. Give them a couple opportunities, and if there's a connection, a click, then you're good. For me, it took, third time was the charm. The first lady I had, I was so new to it, didn't know what to expect. It was all over the phone. I've never had an in-person therapy session, which sucks. But what I had, some FaceTimes or a phone call, what have you. The first lady, I felt like, okay, I have an hour. I found myself trying to keep talking and keeping the conversation going when there was some awkward silence or whatever. Oh, I want to get my down payments worth. Damn it, I have health insurance. Like, why am I the one trying to figure out talking points? The second guy, Giovanni, a couple months later, he was solid. He challenged my thinking. There was a good connection. He wasn't available. Once you go a few months, I'm like, all right, let's try to go it on our own, I guess. Then the last lady, oh god damn it, Carrie. She was dope. This big burly lady from Florida. We'd talk every Friday, and we did it for a few months. And there's not a criteria, but they have an agenda. You make it X amount of weeks, and if you've shown signs of improvements, you quote unquote graduate. But at any time, you can come back and get some help. I believe that was through this group called Two Chairs. And talking to her, man, she called me out. She never judged me, but she'd be like, so this and that. I'd tell her going through these girl problems or whatever, feeling lonely. This person was an asshole to me. She would never tell me what to do, but would challenge my thinking and perhaps offer some alternatives, but not at once did she say, no, you need to do this. She let me make my own decisions. And I could tell the look in her eye at certain points. She's like, you're fucking up doing this, buddy, but I'm going to let you fuck up, and then we're going to talk about it later. She never said that, but that's absolutely her MO of just, all right, Aaron's going to blunder. We're going to talk about it. And he figured it out for himself, which sometimes you can do that on your own. But it's good to have an outside source. And sometimes talking to your friends and family, you might feel judged. And a therapist is an objective third party that you can talk to this person who knows you. They know as much as you tell them, but you don't feel that judgment because they're not someone you see day to day. They're not a family member. They're not a friend. They're just there to do the job. And if you think they're not being sincere, trying to get a paycheck, just experience it. Talk to these people. I think you'll come to find, all right, yeah, they're getting paid for it. They care. They're asking good questions. You just have to find the right therapist that will make you feel fulfilled, like you're feeling listened to, like you're heard. And if therapy's not there for you, if that's just completely out of the question, never not consider it. But journaling has helped me so much, immensely. And there's a fine line. I advocate for anybody to write, everybody to write. There's a fine line between writing and letting anybody else read a goddamn thing that you have there. You could burn it as soon as you're done scribbling out whatever you have to say. I do not journal nearly enough these days, but back in the day, when my 6-year relationship went up in flames, journaling helped so much because I would be on the ferry from San Francisco back to Vallejo. That was a cool 45 minutes to an hour, and I would just force myself, take it out, and just stream of consciousness. Today, poo-poo pee-pee, this sucks, feeling furious, why, don't know, LOL, write whatever. And then one day, I remember I was so pissed, I just stabbed my pen into the goddamn page, and I just ripped out about 3-4 pages of just ink, and just that's how I felt. I was just so furious, ravenous. I felt like stabbing the page and just ripping it up a little bit. That was it for the day. Date it, sign it, what have you. But you can also, at least for me, you get to a point like in a good journaling session where you're not stabbing the journal and you're talking about what am I upset about. Maybe start off with some gratitudes. Talk about what you're wearing. It could be about anything, but let your mind flow, and eventually you'll subconsciously redirect it towards what you want to get to the bottom of. And a couple times it was just so cool. I'm like writing out the words, and it was almost like they were coming out autonomously. Without me, I was just the vessel to write down these words that were meant to come through my mind onto the page and then come to certain realizations or feel better about something. I can't recall every realization I had, but I recall feeling like, holy crap, these words are they're almost their own entity coming out by themselves, by their own will. I just happen to be the conduit they're able to get out and exist on paper. And if you're not down to write, type it up. I've typed journaled is fine. Also, talk to yourself. You're not going crazy. It's all good. At least that's what I tell myself. I've kayaked plenty of times down Lake Solano. Oh, being out in nature, absolutely. It's a shoo-in. But talk to yourself. Be like, all right, bozo, what are you upset about this time? Why? Because somebody was discourteous to me. They said something I didn't like, and am I really upset? Do I need to get this outraged about it? Or is it just my ego? Do I want some little revenge because somebody hurt my fragile little ego, and I can't just let something go? Or realize I'm in the wrong, and maybe I should go and apologize and talk to somebody about something that's upset me, and not just let it stew. If you have something you need to say somebody, or somebody's upset you, and it does not behoove you to keep it inside and just let all these assumptions and let your imagination just absolutely ruin you and what you think the objective truth is. And when you could talk to somebody, oh, I did not know you felt about it this way. I just assumed XYZ. They're like, hell no, it's been elemental P this entire time. Why don't you talk to me about it? It sucks. Like, that happened to me with a good friend of mine. Shout out to Yvonne Martinez. There's just some instances that happened years ago and just stuff that pissed me off. And instead of talking to him about, hey, I'm upset about these things, I let it fester and stew. And we went a lapse of time without a whole lot of conversation or any sort of interaction whatsoever. I was like, this fucking guy used to be my friend. It was after the breakup, and just, I don't know what it is about a highly emotional, vulnerable time. If you choose not to just self-destruct and see what you're fucking made of, dig deep, think about how you're feeling and how you want to improve and where you want your life to go. Goddamn, at least for me, I think I grew a couple of sizes bigger with my balls, because I was like, fuck it, I'm going to talk to this guy. I gave him a call. I was like, bro, it's been a minute since we talked, and just here's how I've been feeling, and I'm really sorry that I've not reached out in a long time. And he's like, bro, if I'm fucking up, call me out, and like, we'll talk about it. And like, I felt so goddamn silly for letting assumptions in my imagination dictate how that conversation would have went like years ago. Of like him being like, fuck you too, bro. Like, I don't need to deal with shit. Just assuming confrontation all the time. The negative, the most negative. Instead of, oh shit, I did not give our friendship the respect it was due, knowing it'd be strong enough to withhold or like stay afloat, even if I'm upset about something. God damn it. So months down, like years past, like, we're solid, dude. That's my boy. That's my guy. That's my brother. But we talked it out when those assumptions and imagination was flaring. The head show, I call it, when there's mock arguments or situations going on in your head, and it has no basis in reality or fact. You're just assuming the worst. And if you sit back and be like, oh, holy shit, these thoughts are not legit. They're only festering and just keeping my mindset and vibes negative. Fuck that. Fuck the head show. You don't need to adhere it. You don't need to identify with every single thought that goes through your head. We are not our thoughts. We are our actions. Boy, howdy. Cold plunges. Cold plunges help quite a bit, and I've gone to Lake Solano plenty of times. Shout out to Calvi. I know raised it a handful of times. Old brother Skylar's even jumped in there. To just go in neck deep. There's a certain spot. Go to a safe spot. It is about 38 degrees, 36 degrees year round. And whatever's going through your life, whatever's going on is just whatever's bugging you, upsetting you, whatever assumptions are festering in your soul. Get your ass in that cold water, and I guarantee you there will be nothing else that you are focusing on but how goddamn cold that water is. It's a punch to the gut, but like any punch to the gut or whenever you lose your breath, you just breathe through it. It forces you to stay present, and then the coldness, like the initial sting, that pain, it will subside. It does subside, and before you know it, after you're breathing, coping with this uncomfortability and this cold, you get out and you feel like $1,000,000. You go take a piping hot shower afterwards, and your body's just in this kind of reverie of like, oh God, it was cold. I faced it. I got through it. Yes, this other stuff. It's think of all that other stuff in your life as just the volume is just, oh, it's high. I hate it. I can't. It's hard to focus on other things because there's a volume, all these issues and all this bullshit. The cold lowers the volume for a good while, at least enough for you to think about things while their volume's low and then take action, have a different thought pattern, and get through it, or journal about something, podcast about something, whatever it is. You can attack those issues while their volume is low, while they're a little vulnerable because you went in cold plunge and you feel great about it. Cold plunges help. Dark humor helps quite a bit. It is a sinister form of coping because some of the dark humor, oh my God, it's like, wow, that was wild. That's off the wall. Some dark humor, this guy I talked about the other day, of when Doug Collins, former coach of Michael Jordan, and there's a news anchor saying, if you're going to work right now, you're probably not Doug Collins. It's just like ruthless, not like typical dark humor, but it was just, wow, that is absolutely savage. More dark humor that I've heard about. Listen to Dan Carlin's Blueprint for Armageddon. He details World War I in its entirety with the most excruciatingly exquisite details, in one of which he talks about the dark humor of the guys in the trenches. So the couple British soldiers sitting around, they're like, oh, where's Jimmy? Oh, there's Jimmy. Oh, there's some more of them over there. Just their friend just got blown to bits. And that's an example of dark humor. And it definitely, when channeled correctly, it can help. It can absolutely help. Just get through it, knowing that that's some dark shit, knowing that's not how you truly feel, but it's just fucking wild. Boy, howdy. Sex, not gonna lie, sex is a tremendous help, but it's not the cure-all. Certainly not like drinking. Nobody's ever drank their way out of poor mental health or physical health. Sex for sure gives you a big old flood of endorphins, and I thought once upon a time, oh, after that devastating breakup, I'll just sex my way out of this. It'll be great. But I am just far too much of an emotional pussy to let anything like that help me, and just a little abstinence helps for goddamn sure. But when you're not using it as the end-all be-all coping mechanism and as the way you're going to reach a better version of yourself, when I find myself getting cranky when I'm in my dry spells, damn it all, whacking just doesn't scratch the itch. Or maybe a little bit, but you just, hopefully, at least for me, some people aren't wired that way, aren't about their hookups. It is what it is. But when you're with somebody you trust, someone you know, maybe you don't know, you go out there, you're at the bar, you just happen to get lucky, what have you. If it's someone, the vibes are good, nobody's getting taken advantage of, willing participants, sex can absolutely be an energy booster, a mood booster, a slump buster, and it's just fun when done correctly, damn it, and safely. Again, nobody gets hurt or is exploited, anything like that. Make sure it's pure, damn it, pure filth. I'll get filthy with it. Have your fun, indulge, let that side of you out. Just have that satisfaction, that climax, and hopefully everybody's satisfied. We'll see. But yeah, sex helps, especially when it's used in a healthy way. What else? And akin to dark humor, laughter. Boy, how laughter and talking to others. There's times that, say I'm at the landfill or wherever, and just, I'm in one of my moods. Want to go and have a drink at home and just curl up and talk to nobody. 99.99% of the time when I go, say I'm at the landfill and I got a spot and talk to people, I've been in the nice isolated zone in my tractor, now I got to go talk to people. Talking to people breaks me out of my funk so hard. Just, hey, how's it going? They might say something funny, but just that little subtle interaction. We are indeed social creatures. I know some people in my life with devastating, debilitating anxiety, which precludes them from going out and interacting with people when I know that would be such a delicious and delightful cure. There's a good balance. Sometimes we're in our introverted moods or modes. You just give yourself that day, but don't let it become a week, month, year, lifetime of isolation without talking to people. Go and talk to people, whether it's at the landfill. Come talk to me when you're dumping your trash. trivia. For the love of God, trivia helps a lot. And a lot of times I'm not in the mood. I'm like, oh, it's Sunday. I just want to chill and just shove my thumb up my ass after watching the Vikings and do a whole lot of nada. But with this responsibility and this abject fun that I'm having, creating the questions and seeing this, like a lot of the same people, a lot of new people come in. It's really cool to get to know them, where they're from. But this past Sunday, on the wake of, I want to say, the best trivia we've had yet. 80s trivia. So many people showed up. They showed out. Saw Desi, saw Scott, saw so many people coming on in. New friends, Sonny. There's so many people that came in. The Knights of Monday lore. Hell, Keith is there almost every week. Chops wasn't there. Maybe that's why it was so fun. Just kidding. But anybody and everybody going out, showing up and supporting, I immediately feel a joy when I see smiles or see people interacting or being silly. It makes me happy. Let's all get silly together. That's why I like saying, go out there, get silly. Make those little noises when you're pressing a button. A little boop. Give me a boop. Boop when you're touching the cat's nose. When you're ruffling the dog's hair. Whatever you're doing, make those noises. Just have fun with life. Make it silly. Life's too serious to not be silly within it, I guess. There's serious moments, yeah, time and place, but at least I like to live life a little more silly. But know that time and place. Man, I guess listening to the tap could also help cure a case of the blues. Didn't want this one to be down in the dumps like it was, Jesus, for that Charlie Kirk one. I think that realizing the ebb and flow of life, that there's gonna be a lot of great days, but there's days that are just shit. And with Charlie Kirk, with a lot of bullshit going on in the world, with our government lying to us, every government's lying to them, every politician hates us, they're looking out for themselves. It's so easy to get wrapped up in tribalism bullshit. It's so easy to let, say, something happen in the world, an assassination, a 9/11. Sometimes you gotta give that gloom and doom its due. It sucks. I don't want to give it its due, but you can't force yourself to be happy. You can only put yourself in situations and circumstances and around good people to help mitigate that shit feeling. But it ebbs and flows. Like every crashing waves, it comes in, it gets you, it flows back out. It's this ebb and flow of emotions in life. And of course, I'm in a decent mood today. Not always in it. And when I'm not always in a decent mood, it's hard to feel creative and bubbly and happy. And there's been shitty times where I'm like, I've dedicated the day to, or after work, come in, I'm going to podcast. I'm tired after work, or I had a shitty workout, shitty day at work, and the last thing I'm going to do is podcast. But once I get going, I feel a little flow, a little mojo, and I'm hopefully not rambling and repeating too much and actually making coherent thoughts and making a solid episode of this motherfucking tap. I leave feeling pretty goddamn good. And I'm not even drinking alcohol right now. Not the cure-all alcohol. Time and place. Everything in moderation. Damn it. Hopefully the tap, that's a big part of who I am. I like making people happy because it makes me happy. And if we're all happy, we're not killing each other. We're not shitting on each other for health choices or political affiliations. We just out here listening to the tap, baby. Come show up to tap trivia. Oh, look at me. Add a little advertisement after this. Talking so much shit about mental health awareness ads. But all joking aside, I'm hoping that what I provide Sundays at 2 o'clock at my cousin's brewery can provide some smiles, a little entertainment that's free of charge, and hopefully listening to the tap can do the same. Go out there and get silly, not stupid. I love you guys, and until next time.
You lose! Good day, sir!